morning, everyone. My name is Ken Mitchell, and it's my privilege and honor to welcome you all to Groundhog Day 2015, which promises to be, let's hear it. Before I forget, let's hear it for Patrick Rafferty and the Rockasili Band for their entertaining us. You know, I can guarantee you that this Groundhog Day is going to be a progressive, new, and exciting Groundhog Day. Everyone, you'll all be quite pleased with the new changes we've made today. At this point, I'd like to introduce our MC, our Master of Ceremonies, a great supporter of the zoo, Mr. Ed Burke, our Deputy Borough President.
Okay. Thank you, Ken. And what an outstanding director we have at the zoo. My goodness, the zoo's got so many great programs, so many great accomplishments, and that's a tribute to Ken and his staff. So here we are, Groundhog Day. Who knows what will happen? What kind of excitement is in store? But no matter what, I know Chuck is going to rise to the occasion. Let's begin, as we always do, by saluting our country with the national anthem. It'll be performed by members of the PS-29 Chorus under the direction of Brian Stevens. Let's hear it for the PS-29 students. All right, so we want to bring up our dais, recognizing some very special guests today. You know, on the heels of an outstanding job prepping for and dealing with the blizzard last week, and in the midst of working on many great projects with our President Otto, great projects for Staten Island, we are so pleased and grateful that Mayor Bill de Blasio is here. Mr. Mayor. We are also joined by our public advocate, Tish James. Tish. Department of Cultural Affairs Commissioner Tom Finkelpearl. And representing the Parks Department, Linda Ricciardone. Now, this event and Staten Island Chuck and his program could not happen without a really great corporate sponsor, and we have one, Investors Bank. Investors Bank is well named. They make a great investment in the people of Staten Island and a lot of community programs. So I'm really pleased to introduce Kevin D. Cummings, Chief Executive Officer and President of Investors Bancorp, Inc. And Mr. Cummings is here just to give his support. In fact, he's supporting Groundhog-related programs and education programs throughout the year with a grant to the zoo. So, Mr. Cummings, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Please come to the microphone.
Good morning, Staten Island. All right? The hardy folk are out here tonight. I want to thank you for all coming out, but most importantly, I want to thank you for supporting this great institution. You know, Staten Island Zoo is just not a zoo, it's a community zoo. And like Investors, we're the community bank that supports Staten Island. So I want to thank you for coming out, distinguished guests, the mayor. You know, it's a great tradition here on this island. God bless you, and let's have a great day.
Just a few quick groundhog facts. You know, groundhogs have a 50-50 chance of being correct with the weather. But Chuck, he's got the best record of all, an 80% accuracy rate, and he doesn't even use the European model. And groundhogs, they're one of the few animals that truly hibernate. At the onset of cold, miserable weather like today, they lower their blood pressure and heart rate, and they become completely relaxed, just like the rest of New Yorkers. But I want to introduce to the microphone another of our very special guests, our public advocate, Tish James.
Thank you so much. Good morning, Staten Island. Come on, Staten Island, make a little bit of noise. Good morning, Staten Island. There you go, that's the Staten Island that I love. This is a wonderful program. It's a wonderful program for children. I want to thank Investors Bank for providing funds for children's education and for their ongoing program of this great zoo. Let everyone have a wonderful day, and let's 6 more weeks of winter, and then let's celebrate the summer. Thank you.
Now, there's millions of groundhogs in the wild. You know, they're a very common animal, but the rarest animal at the Staten Island Zoo, with only 100 individuals left in the wild, is the Amur leopard. So the zoo's doing a lot to save endangered species. And that brings us to, why are we here on this cold, rainy morning? Well, we're here because Chuck is an ambassador for wildlife. Chuck's popularity brings people to the zoo, brings children to the zoo, and that's how the zoo is able to reach them and talk about all these exciting conservation lessons. So the Staten Island Zoo is proud to house this celebrity animal, this groundhog that really does a lot to promoting all the great causes here at the zoo. And I see we've been joined by our Board of Trustees President, Mr. Bill Frew, who has been leading the zoo for many years in a great, great direction. Bill, you want to come to the mic and say a few words?
Thank you very much. On behalf of the trustees here at the zoo, our unbelievable staff, all our volunteers and docents, I'd like to welcome you all here again for Groundhog Day, the day in which we find out what the weather's going to be for the next few months. Hopefully it's going to be better than today. I'm so glad to see you all came. It's wonderful to have you here, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
All right, and now the moment you've been waiting for, the mayor and the groundhog. You know, I wanna, yeah, well, you know what, I mean, let's be honest. Half of you are here because you love this ritual and you're fans of the zoo, and half of you are here because you're waiting for something to go wrong. We know that. We know that. But, you know, I want to applaud Mayor Blasio for being here. It's very consistent with the mayor's commitment. He knows it's for the children. He knows it raises awareness about the zoo and thereby helps the conservation and education efforts here. And he knows it's goodwill for Staten Island and New York. So we're very appreciative that you're here, Mr. Mayor. And please take heart, there will be no surprises. 2015 is not a leap year. He's our hands-on and today hands-free mayor, Bill de Blasio.
Eddie Burke, ladies and gentlemen, he'll be here all week. Try the veal. So, Eddie, Eddie, you definitely have another career after public service. Vegas needs you. It is great to be here at Staten Island Zoo. It is a wonderful place. It is a place that families in Staten Island enjoy, and I am thrilled to be here to promote the good work of this zoo. I want to thank all of my colleagues who are here, who have come here early in the morning out of similar devotion. Particular thank you to Kenny Mitchell, who runs this zoo so well and does so much for the people of Staten Island, especially, yes, let's give him a round of applause. A special thank you to the kids from PS 29 for their wonderful singing. All right, we know why we're here. We want to figure out if we're going to have a longer winter or an early spring based on the work of our furry and four-legged meteorologist, Chuck. 6 more weeks of winter if he sees the shadow. Spring comes early if he sees no shadow. It's hard to believe he won't see a shadow on a day like this, but let us hope for the best. Now, there's been a very concerted effort over the last few weeks. Teams of animal behavior experts and scientists have consulted from all over the country. The National Institute of Health has weighed in on my behalf. The National Institute of Groundhog Health has weighed in as well. I think we got NASA involved. We've had a a lot of people working at, and based on consultations, the zoo has come up with a new, new progressive, exciting approach to groundhog diplomacy on this day. This new approach will be safer for both species involved. And I'm very excited about that, so any minute, Chuck will emerge with the news. As you heard, Chuck has an extraordinary rating. This is something I did not know. Ranked the #2 groundhog by the Weather Channel's list of top 11 groundhogs to watch. I did not know there was such a list, but I'm glad the Weather Channel put that together. Chuck is usually right, and let's hope he gives us a warm forecast today. With that, take it away. I've got my hands free.
Ring the bell? Absolutely. Ring the bell there. 3 times.
Put your hand in there. Ready, everyone? 3 times.
And here comes Chuck. Here is Chuck, ladies and gentlemen. In his brand new habitat. It's a Chuckavator.
Chuckavator.
His back is to everyone.
Here he comes.
Come on, Chuck. Okay, Chuck. Roman. It's like a boatmobile. That's good.
It is like a boatmobile, yeah. It's a Chuckmobile.
Tish has the quote of the day.
Well, Chuck is doing what groundhogs do. He's looking to see if he sees a shadow. And right now, Mr. Mayor, I would say he doesn't see a shadow over there.
Really? I don't know. Children. Shadow, no shadow. No shadow?
He's peeking. He's peeking up. He's wondering if on a day like today, the city has a slush fund.
Security ticket.
Here he comes. Come on, Chuck, we're waiting.
What's up, Chuck?
And there he is, ladies and gentlemen, Staten Island Chuck.
That's right. There you go. Come on, Chuck.
Very exciting. Verdict. Chuck says, spring is coming! Good news all around. Chuck, I want to thank you for this new approach. I think we finally understand each other. Thank you for the good news. All right. Gotta go with the flow, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, that does conclude our program. We're so grateful to the mayor, public advocate, to Investors Bank, and all of you for supporting the Staten Island Zoo. Thank you so much for coming. And Chuck looks very happy in his new Chuckavator. His Chuckmobile Chuckavator. And thank you. And please remember to visit the Staten Island Zoo because, as I said, Chuck is an animal ambassador, and he introduces a lot of people to all the great programs and endangered species here. Sure has. Okay, thank you again, ladies and gentlemen.